Let me just give a brief introduction about myself, my career journey, and transition to analytics. So, my name is Sarabjit Anand, and I'm currently associated with Fractal Analytics as senior consultant in their retail and CPG analytics vertical. I have almost 10 years of total experience. So, by qualification, I'm a fashion designer with MBA in retail management. And I started my career as a retail merchandiser and have worked with various retail and e-commerce logos, as you can see on the screen, before transitioning my career to analytics. I have been handling roles like retail merchandiser, buyer, category manager, and in my last job, I was head of retail planning and analytics. So, like most of you don't know what a retail merchandiser does. So basically, the common point in all these roles is enormous data analysis and number crunching on daily basis. And I was using Excel tool uh, to do these data analysis, which was purely historical data analysis. And the analysis was done with just one goal of right stock at right time at right place. So it was almost 7 years that I was working in the merchandise planning and category management field. But then I wanted to try something different. uh, the job had become very monotonous, the same kind of job, same kind of analysis. And I was just doing historical data analysis, taking decisions for future based on gut and instincts, based on the logic that I could extract from the historical data analysis. I was pretty much sure that there is something that can help me to take cutthroat business decisions. So I started researching and came across postgraduate program in business analytics and business intelligence from Great Lakes. Well, to tell you the truth, this was a turning point in my career. I really won't say that this course alone has helped me in transition. Transition requires a lot of effort, dedication, discipline, time, practice, and self-learning, and most importantly, patience and perseverance. As the old age saying goes, right, that Rome wasn't built in a day. A career transition into analytics doesn't happen overnight. It is definitely a difficult process, especially while holding a job. I personally feel it would take anywhere between 0 to 24 months to transition. But for me, it took 1 month, I would say. I feel I was quite lucky that ways, or it could also be that I just did not rely on the course alone, but had put a lot of effort in practicing my new learnings in the real world, which was I was fortunate enough that I could apply these learnings in my work, right? So we will discuss this in detail in the later part. For
So that's a very short brief of my transition story. So I think before Richa gets into explaining her transition story, I wanted uh, to just open it up to all three of you. If you have any questions regarding this, or you want some more information, uh, where you think this story resonates with your story.
Yeah, hi, Venkatesh here. I have a similar thing. I'm actually in finance field now, close to 10 years. What I've heard from many people, like data science would be the future. So I am also planning to transition. And basically, I'm in finance, so I'm in analytics field, but using more advanced statistical tools. The analysis would be more perfect, or it could be near to the realistic forecast. So similarly, even I would like to transition. I'm also in the process of thinking about it. I mean, what is the start? I mean, how do we go ahead if I want to move to the analytics field? or into data science field. I mean, the first steps. I mean to say.
So right now you are into which domain? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Yeah,
Currently,
it is a finance domain. It's into the preparation of budgeting, forecasting, and variance analysis, FP&A profile. Actually.
okay. I think that is where Richa, maybe you can help
Yeah,
since
yeah.
you are already from that domain.
Yes,
So,
Venkatesh. So let me also take you through how I transition, and I come from FP&A domain. Okay, so
okay.
I was in Swift. So Swift is a payment company. If you know, so you do any bank transaction, it passes through Swift network. I was part of finance and business operations there, and my role was into forecasting, understanding the variance, but preparing budgets, and then forecast, and then look at the regions and see where we are not able to meet our forecast. As we planned for. So that was the primary role, and I was into this for almost when I thought of moving to analytics, or rather I would say I thought of moving out of the organization for my own growth purpose. So after my MBA, I joined this organization, and I realized that after 5 years, yeah, I should now make a move because I am not financially growing. So that started my search on the companies. Now when I started projecting my profile, it was a kind of that time, I think it was around 2015, when analytics were not that prominent, but yes, it was growing, and my profile was taken as something as either very confusing, or it was if not confusing, it was primarily on the BI side. So BI side, when I say so anything which where you are working on reporting, they call it BI. At least that time it was BI. So I was doing a lot of reporting work, and especially on financial reporting. So when I started giving interviews, I was getting calls from for companies, but they wanted me to know regression to great extent. They wanted me to know um, time series forecasting. So these two were very important. Now, although I was doing forecasting, but I was not really using a lot of statistical tools, and hence the conversion to any other organization was becoming very difficult. And that time I also enrolled to this Great Learning to upskill myself. Now I enrolled considering that I would learn and I would move out, not from the only objective that I would take this whole transition, but to learn and then apply it in my own field. So when I started learning, I started applying in the data that I'm. So the most important part is that you should be working on the data. So I had huge data with me, and I started applying similar to what Sarabjit also did. She started applying herself, and then and it is also important because when you carry a 6-7 years of experience, applying is very important. Otherwise, because you are not even a fresher, you're not even entry level person, so you have to show the application. So I started applying, and then I got call from Fractal, and it got converted, right? Because I was able to crack the interview, I was able to show the use cases that I have worked on. And so now, answering to your question, Venkatesh, uh, I would say for you it should not be a huge problem to transition. It's just that how you project your profile is what is more important. Now, FP&A is one space where if you limit yourself to budgeting and forecasting, it may not give you the transition toward data science. But if you start
Mhm.
putting your profile in a way that you have worked on techniques, like you are using regression techniques, you are using time series forecasting techniques. So, what are the time series forecasting techniques you should look at? These are ARIMA. So, you have to research on the market that what are the techniques they are using. So, ARIMA is used heavily. You should be well versed with ARIMA. And the moment you start
Mhm.
putting these things in your profile, you will find that the transition becomes very very easy. And one thing that you need to do is you apply it yourself. You already have data. Finance has huge data. Try to
Mhm.
apply yourself so that in interview it is easy to explain. If you start creating things, right, then it's possible that the person at the other end will understand that you are just creating it, but you have not really done it. But if you do it, if not 100%, even 50% or 60% of it, at least you know the data conversion part, that how you have converted the data to get into a machine learning technique, right?
Okay. Okay.
So that is very important, application, and then apply for the role that you're looking for.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Welcome. So more questions, specific question to your transition that you're looking for.
No, there is nothing specific as such. So since being in FP&A, as you said, yeah, data is definitely available. Only thing is like how do we use these techniques, and which technique needs to be used where. That is something I'll have to work on, and you know move to that data science, because we in our organization we don't have any such data science application being implemented. Since it was my interest that this would be more scientific way of forecasting, right? Because many businesses, even in our own organization, they
क्या
do forecasting based
नहीं,
on gut
मुझे
feel.
सुनना नहीं बेटा, तुम जाओ, मैं कॉल,
So
बेटा जब मेरी
I
कॉल
thought
होती
this
तभी तो
could
मैं
be the
काम
best
करते।
way, more in a scientific way
नहीं
to
सुनना,
arrive
नहीं
at a forecast,
नहीं।
rather than just a gut based forecast.
Yeah, I understand this, how these finance forecasting done. It is primarily on assumptions
Mm.
and
Yeah.
maybe some historical information, but it's just like some percentages, but nothing more than that. And where
Yeah.
you are, it was the same field for me, where even in my company, um, a loading of R Studio was not allowed, right? So R Studio, I had to take special permission to get my R Studio, and then another problem was to get the packages. So now for packages, we just put install.packages, right? But then in my company, in Swift, it was very difficult. The firewall was not allowed to install packages, so I had to download directly from the website, and then I had to give the location of my drive where the package is loaded. So it was a huge task, because RStudio also download dependent packages, but when you do it manually, you have to yourself load the dependent. So I had to search all the dependent packages and had to install all of those. So it was a huge task, but because I have to do it, so I did it, because that was important for me to move the transition, to take that transition, right? So that kind of effort is needed. No company, if you go for upskilling, no company will guarantee you a transition until unless you are prepared yourself. And they can only teach you, but how to prepare, how to transition out is something that I don't think anyone offers. Yeah. And there is what we are actually trying to get into, where we can help people transition out.
Okay.
Sarabjit, you want to talk about?
Yeah. So, basically, I think Richa has already put it very, in a very elaborate way. Uh, so here, see, basically, there are these institutes. There are many institutes that they say that okay, the X% people have transitioned, and it's very easy to transition. But yeah, but then again, it is, I think it is very important to to basically create a path for yourself. You might have to talk to several people who have transitioned, especially in the domain, in the same domain, right? Say for example, you are in finance domain, and now that you are talking to Richa, how she has, because she was from the same profile, how she has transitioned. What are those nitty gritties that she was facing, those problems that she was facing, and how she overcome that. And definitely, there have been many challenges for her as well. Uh, that she went through. And I think because she was in the same position, she you can gain something from her story, how she actually went about it.
Hmm.
But I think the main thing that everyone should keep in mind, that you cannot depend on other person to create a path for you. You know your profile very well. You know what kind of analysis you have done. uh, what are the daily problems, daily challenges that you are facing in your current job role, right? Now
Right.
you have to just marry, you have to just tie those problems with your analytics technique. Okay,
Right.
like you are already working with the data, you are doing a BI reporting on that.
Yeah.
So is it something that right now you're doing those descriptive analysis? Is it something that you can take it to next level, where you are saying that you are taking decisions based on gut? Okay. But now with advanced analytics, you can change this gut into a science,
Right.
right?
Right.
You can take a scientific, you can do scientific decision making and not just a gut
Generally,
based
Sarabjit
decision
बोल
making.
रही है.
So
Right.
think, right, that these are the insights that you got from historical data analysis. Now, to reach to another level where, say, you are forecasting the sale, can you use some other technique, like you have with Excel, you'll be just using regression, right? Can
Yeah.
you use time series, like ARIMA, like she said? Can you use that to predict and give recommendations? So ultimately, it has to be a prescriptive analytics,
Right. Okay.
right? So pick up the same use case that you have been using for your BI analysis. Pick up the same use
Okay.
case and take it to another level, because this is how your problem solving skills will be enhanced. You will be able to show that in your CV, and you will so see, the most important thing is a problem solving skill, and then comes your technical skills, which are
Right.
your techniques,
Oh,
where what techniques you use to solve XYZ problem,
yeah.
uh,
Yes.
and so on, right? And then ultimately you will have to quantify the impact. So you can
Yeah.
only know that the impact of this solution will be ABC, because unless because you know that problem very well. You don't need anyone else to describe that problem to you,
Yeah. Absolutely.
right?
Okay.
So now, so this is what you know we are actually the session that we are doing. Um,
Okay.
we are actually we want to help a lot of people, especially in
Yeah.
today's times, where they think that, okay, transition, they have done the course, they have the certificate, and now they can apply for the job. But I think it's more that they need to do. So we want to help as many people as we can, and that is where both of us, Richa and myself, we have thought of doing these sessions. And also, if you want some one-on-one interaction or one-on-one mentoring, we'll be more than happy to uh,
So
to give you that mentorship.
thing is, main thing is to get guidance as to how to go about it. For example, I actually don't know for this data science what are the prerequisites that is required. I mean, you should have the coding skills or you should have the statistics. I'm willing to learn. I mean, that's not a problem. But are there any prerequisites to take this course? That is something I'm also thinking, because in as I told, in my organization there is nobody who has done this. So if I have to do it myself, then I need to start somewhere. So just wanted to check, like, are there any prerequisites that is required to do this course?
Um,
See, for me,
yeah.
yeah, Richa.
Okay,
Uh,
I was saying something else. So Venkatesh,
Yeah.
instead of thinking that in those lines, if you think that uh, whether you, so data science is not a small field, right? It's a big field. First, first point is what in data science? That should be the question. what role fits your experience. There is no, so I always quote this example. You
Mm,
being an HR, like put yourself as an HR position and answer me, okay? I come
mm,
from I was a laborer, okay? I was a laborer. I was working in mines, okay? I was working in mines. I
mm,
was taking out coal. Suddenly
mm,
one day I want to get into this AC room, okay? And I always
mm,
want fascinated that how these people work. So now I don't want to do mining at all, but I want to
mm,
sit in front of the computer and I want to just handle marketing. Okay,
mm, mm,
fine, I have taken a course, I know all the marketing jargons. Now tell me, you being HR, will you hire me? You won't. You won't. That's the reality, okay? And we have to accept it. You won't hire me. Now, that is the problem that we see that is happening in the market, that everyone wants transition, but they don't want where. They don't know where. Okay? So, if now I take the same example, I am a miner, I mine, and now I I wanted to get into managing the operations, okay? How mining happens, what are the problems that a labor undergoes when he wants to when he mines, right? Now, you being an HR, I have done a course, I have an experience of mining myself, I have done a course, and then I also showed that I have managed the operation as well on the floor. And now you have a different, you have a role for an operations manager. Will you hire me?
mm. Yeah,
Yeah. So now,
right.
what has changed? The change is, I still am sitting in an AC room, right? I'm still in an
Mm,
AC room. I'm still working in front of the computer, but the
mm,
target role is changed. I was looking at a
mm,
marketing role, and then
yeah,
although it is fine, I see that a lot of people in marketing, they do such an exciting job, but there's no point targeting something which I know that I have never done it and I will not be able to transition. And that is the problem that market has currently. Everyone want to
mm,
transition in data science, but they are not having any experience of even working on the data. Now, the plus point with you is, Venkatesh, you worked on data, but your target
yeah.
role is wrong. You shouldn't target data science at all. You should target BI. Okay,
Okay, okay.
right? You should target BI. You should target analytics. Now, BI
Right,
has a
right.
lot of layers itself. Okay, BI has multiple
Mm,
layers. You would find roles which are into SQL, where you're just extracting and creating dashboards, or it could be more on the consulting, where you are also creating storyboards. So your role should be creating storyboards, create
okay, okay.
giving those insights, okay, using machine
Mm,
learning
yeah,
techniques to drive those insights. Now, that becomes a
yeah.
role where you will be able to transition very quickly, because you know and understand the pulse of the financial planning and analysis, right?
Yeah, correct.
So this is how this is how a transition happens, and that's where you need the guidance. That's where you need a
Mm-hmm.
person's guidance. Even if it is a 30 minutes call or a 1 hour call, you will be able to gauge a lot. And then another area is, how do you prepare your resume in that way? How do you
Mm-hmm.
show
Yeah.
it so that it looks like as if you've worked for like last 7-8 years, you've been doing that work? Because
Mm,
you are actually doing that work. It's just that you were not doing that work on R Studio or Python, but you were still doing the same
mm-hmm.
work, though it was based on
Yes,
gut feeling, but you were still making those decisions. Now you have to show
right.
that you were making those decisions scientifically, not by the gut
Mm,
feeling,
yeah,
right?
okay.
Sorry,
Yeah.
yeah, Sarabjit, you take over. Sorry.
Yes, yes. Okay. So very well said, Richa. I think you have explained this in a very well way. I hope Venkatesh, the you have got the clarity.
Yeah, yeah.
But yes, I see Ram Kishore and Kaushali also joining. So I would encourage others also. Please ask questions. Uh, Otherwise, it would just be one way. So, any questions from others?
This is the time you should really ask question. I'm 100% sure you are not clear as to where you want to get into.
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Hi Ram.
Yes. Yes. Hi, Ram.
Yeah. I'm basically a mainframe developer working in IT service sector. Like, I was willing to switch to data science, and I found this course in Great Learning, and I'm pursuing it right now. And I'm not quite sure where to start, like switch to data science career, from where I can start. Yeah, this is my question.
So, are you already doing the course, or you still are
Yeah, I'm
searching
still
that?
pursuing it. I'm still
Okay,
pursuing
you're
it.
already pursuing it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So, okay. So, have you thought of doing any real world use cases till now?
Uh, that's what. That's some. How can I gain experience in that? Like internship. How can I do that? Like freelancing. There are many options. Like from
So,
where
it's
I
been
can start.
how many years of experience you have as a mainframe developer?
3 years.
3 years. Okay. And is there any particular domain that you have picked up over there?
Yeah,
Any
yeah. My
business
domain is
business domain?
insurance. Insurance.
Insurance.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't know whether you have already working with data and doing some kind of analysis on Excel.
Yeah. Part of my duty is like mainly to work with data and provide explaining things to business technical details. Here, technical details will be a coding part. Yeah.
Yeah, the coding part, but you are not able to translate that into business terms.
Uh, my job is that, but it's not what you say like exact data science. But this is all part of the coding. You have to basically explain the technical part of the coding to business. So I have to cut. This is my part of the job. So data science is like most part of the job is that. So I have to convert that into data science. I'm looking for that only. How can I
Hmm.
fully grab those things?
Okay. So see, and the other question is, are you looking out for transitioning in the in the analytics or the data science department in your current organization, or you want to switch your job?
That's where I'm clueless. Like, will it be good to transit inside the company itself, or should I look outside? Because
Yeah.
given
So,
given the
so I
situation
would
right now,
recommend,
yeah, yeah,
yeah. So, Richa, please add on if you want to. But here, let me just uh, give my recommendation. What I feel that I think
okay,
it would be best for you if there is no problem in your job, and especially looking at the times that we are in right now. My
yeah, yeah.
recommendation would be that you, if you can, you transition within your company itself and try to pick up the project, analytics or the data science projects in your own company where you get to do some hands-on work through coding and solving the problems in your own company.
Okay,
Because once you have gained, say a year or so experience, and you have worked on some use cases, real world use cases, right? Uh,
okay,
it would be easy to transition to other companies.
okay. On the other hand, there's no availability by chance. How can I like from outside the company, like part time? How can I do that? Like, how can I get some practical projects from outside the company?
So
Uh,
outside the company, see, I think the best way right now is internship.
Okay.
Okay, just give me a second. Okay, so best way right now is the internship. So there are, right, since past 2-3 months, there are some companies who are offering freelance internships as well. But again, they are not ready. But it is a win-win situation for both, that you are getting some experience and you can add the project to your portfolio, and the companies are getting people uh, to which they are getting their work done, right? So those are the internships that you can look out for. Then there are some hackathons also that companies itself are doing. Like a month back or so, Unilever had done a hackathon, right? Where they are giving you a problem statement and a data set, and you have to participate in that hackathon. So this is how you can get some freelance projects or internships to add in your portfolio. But when it comes to transitioning, uh, my recommendation would be that you pick up one domain at a time
Mm-hmm.
and see,
Okay.
like you have been working in insurance, right? So
Yeah.
pick up one domain. So pick up insurance and see that what are the critical problems in that domain, right?
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
but that is how you can pick up. If you are picking any project from outside, you will have to see if you are able to get that understand that, get that kind of a project from outside. But it's not always very easy. That's the reason I said that if you have the opportunity of moving into another department in your current organization, where you get to solve some real world use cases and you get some hands-on experience, I think that would be more easier for you. Because honestly
Okay.
speaking, you do not even have good business domain experience. Uh, so so it is always recommended if you can transition within your own company, because I feel that it would be little difficult uh, if you are looking out for a job. Either you might have to go with salary cuts or the same package. So
Mm-hmm.
those kind of problems can arise.
Okay. And how can I grab those hackathon opportunities and all? Like,
So see, there are a lot of websites that
yeah.
you can check online. There are some websites where that keep providing these kind of hackathons and competitions. But honestly speaking, those hackathons would be mostly for your test, for practicing your coding skills. But if you
Okay.
really want to add some end-to-end real-world use case in your CV, it's always recommended to do it from within the company itself.
Okay. Okay. And the concept of virtual internship, is it the same or
I'm sorry, I didn't get your question.
I've seen one or two virtual internship. It's like use cases of a project, and they would provide you something like a business objective, and you have to submit. It's nothing. It's not a paid internship or something, and it's not paid also. I'm asking that concept. Is it the
Yeah,
same
of
kind of
course.
internship? Okay.
Yes, of course. I mean, they are giving you the data set, right? They are giving you a business
Yeah.
problem, and then you
Okay.
have to. They are telling you what needs to be done. So
Yeah.
definitely that helps, because you are actually working with a company there. It could be that you are not doing end to end, that extracting the data, deciding what kind of
Mm-hmm.
data is required, but at least from step two you are doing that, where you have to clean the data,
Yeah.
do a lot of
Okay.
wrangling, harmonization, and then build the model and so on. Definitely, it could be that you might not be involved in deploying it. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
but 60 to 70% of the work is being done through that. Richa, do you want to add on?
Yeah, so Ram, as Sarabjit said, I think you should only look at first transitioning into your own organization. These internship, hackathon, um, I don't think they add a lot of value. And trust me, that's my own. I mean, that's my view. They would only add value to a person who's not into this field. Obviously you are not into this field, but you still have so many things to show. It's just that how you show it matters, because you're already working with the data. You are into insurance domain, you're already coding, right? Although you are a mainframe developer, but you're already coding. See, you already
Yeah.
have all the recipes in place. Okay, you have all the raw material in place. It's just that you have to cook it. How you cook it is what you need to understand. That is why if you transition into your own organization, you know the whole dish. The problem with hackathons and these things are, the once you show it, companies feel that you have no experience. Okay, you are only doing it. Yeah, but if you are showing your experience as into analytics and you also doing hackathons, then you are it's a very good package. You're a very good package for any company to get hired. But if you show your resume in a way that you don't have any experience, but you are taking those experience from hackathon, they don't hire, because hackathons have a very clean data. Even internship, they will not give you uh, a, an end-to-end, as Sarabjit also mentioned. They will not give you an end-to-end problem solving, but they will only give a part of a problem. Maybe they will only give you to clean the data, or maybe they just only want to create an algorithm, a model, which is maybe a 20 line code. That's it. uh, but when you start working in your own organization, in some other department, then you will know each and everything. So and also, the time we are in right now, the jobs are very very less. Okay.
Yeah. I
So
know.
you will end up getting demotivated if you start applying and you won't get a role. You will end up getting demotivated at, oh, there's something wrong with my profile. And probably it is not the case. Maybe your profile is much better than others. It's just that they are looking for a very specific person with a specific skill set. So right now the time is bad, but you can, use this time to learn all these things to transition into within your organization. Or even if you're not transitioning, you can take the use case, use your data. You can already use the data, right? You have the data. Prepare those use cases, what you can do with this data, and create the model. That's exactly the same thing you would do with Kaggle. And but here the data is raw. You know how to extract, how you get that data, but there you don't even know the background of the data, right? So I would highly recommend, first, try switching within your company. Second, if within, so obviously switching doesn't happen the next day. So within that period, you use your data, irrespective of what analysis you're doing as a part of your organization, but you use your data, understand the use cases that can be derived from that kind of data, and create those models, right? You are already into coding, so you should be a data scientist. You should take a data scientist kind of role.
Yeah, thanks, Richa. And thank you, Sarabjit. That helps.
Hi, Karan.
Hi, Karan. Guys, I would encourage everyone, please, this is your session. Uh, we just have like almost 15 minutes left. So I would encourage, please bring up questions. It's going to help you.
Hello.
Hi, Paushali.
Yeah. Hi, Poshali.
Actually, I'm not going in transition or something like that. Actually, I'm a fresher, and last year I have completed my graduation in statistics, and right now I am doing my master's. in this COVID situation, actually I'm looking to work as a data analyst or data scientist, and this COVID situation has happened. And how should I approach?
Okay.
Richa, you want to go
Yeah,
ahead?
I'll start. So, Pashali, time is bad. It's bad for everyone. Uh,
Yeah,
the advantage with you is that you are a fresher. You don't have an experience. So, yes, the situation for you is going to remain the same. The only problem is the opportunity would go up and down, right? So opportunity today are 10, but tomorrow it is going to be 100. But what you need to do within this period, within this all these times, is you apply internship, do a lot of internship with many organization. There are number of telegram groups that has been formed. If you want, I can forward you one two three that I have, where you can opt for internship and do as many internship as you want, whether it is paid or free, so that you are fully prepared when you are applying for a proper job after this COVID environment. And keep on applying, there's no harm in applying, but don't take it as a negative experience that you're not getting a job. It is for everybody. People are getting laid off with 15-20 years of experience, so you can imagine how difficult it is. Okay, so don't lose your hope, but utilize this time in upskilling as much as possible. Gain
thanks.
cloud
Thanks. I have
experience.
applied for some internships actually. I have not get any responses, and I mean, what skills should I learn? What what are the main things should I learn for internship, and how should I approach it?
Okay, so let me answer that question. So, Paushali, here, like as Richa said, right, that definitely you need to learn, do a lot of internships so that you can gain some hands-on experience and understand, you know, that what is it actually in the real world use case. Because what you are doing in academics and what you experience in real world, definitely there are, lot of variations. And so now, as far as how, like you have applied and you are not getting, so firstly, I wanted to understand that have you been able to do any kind of real world use case, or have you been able to translate your academic project? Because in academic projects also sometimes you get a real world data set, and on that, you do good amount of data cleaning, etc., and then build your model. So basically, you need to be able to show those relevant and uh, important projects that you have worked on these. It could be that you have not done that end to end, but at least from getting the data set to building the model and thinking of what could be the potential impact of that problem and how well you understand that business problem statement. That's very important, because that is so business problem statement. I mean to say, I have spoken to many freshers. So what they think that predicting the sales is a business problem statement. Actually, predicting the sales is not the business problem statement. Your business problem would be that what am I going to achieve, uh, say, after 6 months? Is my sales going to increase, and to what extent? What would be my growth, right? Or can I increase my sales by X% in next 6 months? This is your business problem. Now you convert that into a data problem statement, where you will be, based on your historical data, you will be predicting the future sales, and you can say that, okay, yes, after 6 months, this is what I think the sales is going to be, and it says that you will have X percent of growth, and then after predicting, uh, you can recommend to business that okay, if you want to increase this sales by another 2%, then these are XYZ strategies that you might have to follow, right? So how you convert your solution into the actual business impact, that is more important. So, and this is also expected from a fresher, right? That business acumen, that business understanding has to be there. So just finishing the course and start applying for the job or the internship, I think it's not going to help that much. You need to show that even if you mention your academic projects in the CV, please mention the potential impact that you think, because you generally say that 94% accuracy was there, or I had -2 RMSE score or something like that. This is not what the business or the recruiter is going to understand. He wants to see that what is the success variable for the problem that you're solving, right? So definitely you cannot give actual impact, but a potential impact can be given, which at least show some kind of
We have 5 minutes left, so do we have any more questions? Danish, Saurabh?
Yeah, hi, Richa ma'am.
Hi, Danish. Yes.
Uh, See, actually, I was listening to all these new data science aspirants, candidates, which are who are participants here also. As you know, I'm already into this. I'm also pursuing this program, postgraduate program in business analytics and business intelligence
Mm-hmm.
from Great Learning. So I had some few questions, few confusions, but during this session only, it gets resolved. So now I don't have any question.
That's that's good. That's good.
Thank you.
Um,
When you and Sarabjit ma'am explained the things, few things were confusing me since during my journey of this course.
hmm,
Now it gets clear now. Actually, I was a bit concerned about internship and job. I
hmm,
was a bit confused in between these two roles.
hmm,
And earlier also, I spoke to Sarabjit ma'am,
hmm.
and she also that time also she explained me well. Even after having discussion with her, even I was little bit confused, but today it is more. I have more clarity on that things.
Great, great, Danish.
Thank you.
I would urge all of you, if it is possible, please put a feedback on LinkedIn or recommendation if you liked it. If you
Sure.
don't like it, it is okay, and it's not a compulsion, but it motivates us. So my mentees, when I then they reach out to me and they tell me their transition that they have moved out, it feels good, right? So yeah,
I would like. I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you,
no problem.
but I just want to. I would want to know, कि, uh, despite having this scenario right now of COVID,
Hmm.
is it better? See, I'm thinking of applying for, not waiting for job replies. I'm thinking to get translated to directly intern roles,
Hmm.
so that I can leverage this time.
Yeah, yeah, that's actually
This is
better.
the
Yes.
idea in my mind. This is
Yeah,
the idea in my mind.
yeah, that's better.
So
I have already sent a link to Poshali. I'll forward the same link to you where you get a lot of
we
internship job internship.
actually I'm struggling with my internet issue also right now. I was disconnected also
Mm-hmm.
during this session. So if you will send it again, it will be better.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link, and I'll also send the video for this the link to this video, so that if any of you want to listen to it, then you can always do that.
Okay.
Okay, great. Saurabh, you don't have any questions? Hello, Saurabh, if you're speaking something, I'm not able to hear. I see that you have unmuted yourself.
Okay, I think
Okay.
Saurabh, you can mail us or message us whatever question or doubt you have, okay? Because we are not able to hear you.